Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Data Standard Audio Experience. I'm your host, Catherine Tao. Today we have Joanna Palmer, a client principal at Ring Central, and today we're going to be speaking about personalization in customer experience. So welcome to the show, Joanna. Very excited to have you today.
Thanks, Kat. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get started. Could you tell us more about just your background and introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, like you had mentioned, I'm the CX client principal at Ring Central. And so I have 20 years of experience in contact centers, customer experience, and telecom. So I started my career in this space really on the IT side of the house, first in telecom, then moved over to contact centers. And then I moved over to the business side in customer service leadership and transformation as well. So at Ring Central, what I do is I provide consulting services to help companies really define their customer experience vision and strategy, where they can implement that vision through processes and technology redesign. So this includes looking at areas such as employee experience, where they should automate, where they need to personalize more, what channels they should use to engage with their customer. And just in case you haven't heard of Ring Central before, Ring Central is a cloud-based communication company that specializes in unified communications and contact center solutions.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I wanted to talk about, just jump into the idea of customer experience right now, since this is our overall topic. What are some common trends in personalization in customer experience that you've seen?
Yeah, so customers expect more when they're interacting with the company. For instance, 84% of customers say being treated like a person rather than a number is very important for them to do business with companies. And that's a statistic from Salesforce. And I think it's really important to think about personalization as more than just identification. So identification, knowing who that person is when they contact your company, that you're a Kat and I am Joanna, and that's baseline, right? But they want more than that. Customers want you to know what they've done with your business, who they are as a person, what their identities are. And there's some really fun things we can do with all of the data that we're getting throughout the organization and applying that to the customer experience. We could really geek out here, Kat, on customer experience and data and personalization to really take that customer experience to the next level. And I'm looking forward to talking about some of that today.
Yeah, definitely. And the customer experience is so important just because that's the overall business goal, is to keep the customer retention going as well. And so how do you use data to leverage the business and to help improve the customer experience?
Yeah. So like you had mentioned, customer experience is so important to a business today. And in fact, customer experience we found is a leading indicator and a differentiator beyond product itself and price itself. Customers are looking for that better experience to do business with you. And so as you think about how to leverage data within your business, how to really ensure that you're taking that experience to the next level, like I had mentioned, it's no longer sufficient enough to just know a person's name. You need to take all of the data from all of your various different systems and really build what that customer background and persona looks like. For instance, you need to know their online history. If they've placed an order with you recently, you need to anticipate that that's probably why they're contacting you. Utilizing that information and that data to create a low effort interaction, as well as a highly personalized interaction, is going to create stickiness with your company, between that customer and your company. It's building that relationship really between the customer and your company. And to do that, you need all of the various different data points. It's such an exciting time, as I had mentioned, to be in customer experience and to be in the data world of this. As we think about a customer as a whole, let's take a retail shopping experience. You've got customers who may go to a box store, may go to a traditional brick and mortar store, but they may also shop online. And if you can aggregate those data points together to really see that whole of the customer and anticipate what their needs are and why they may be reaching out to you, send proactive reminders. I'm so predictable. And I think most customers are. For instance, I have started placing my grocery shopping order every Saturday, like clockwork. for a pickup on Sunday, right? And so thinking about taking that customer experience to the next level as a company, I should proactively remind you, if you've not placed your grocery order by Saturday at a certain time, that, hey, your pickup time, your preferred pickup time, we've noticed is 5 p.m. on Sunday. It's filling up. You may want to go ahead and place that order now to ensure that your spot's saved for your typical pickup time. So again, anticipation, personalization, and really keeping that customer focus when you're creating these new customer journeys.
Yeah, definitely. And that's such a clever example that you came up with, is that grocery example. That's super interesting to think about it. And how do you kind of measure this customer satisfaction? Is it quantitatively? Is it customer retention? How are you kind of measuring this?
Yeah, that's a great question. And ultimately, customer retention is your North Star. You need customer loyalty and those repeat buyers in order to really understand if your personalization is making a difference. So there's a lot of different methods, and the contact center is so data rich as well. So think about all of the various different ways that customers are now contacting your customer service organization within your companies. There is so much data there to mine, to understand really what that customer journey looks like, to understand what that customer sentiment is. So surveying is just one aspect that you can take a look at when you're taking a look at customer journeys. And I think that that's probably what's most common when you think about measuring customer satisfaction. It's Net Promoter Score or customer effort score or CSAT score overall. That's good, but that is just one snapshot. There is so much more to take a look at and to measure. And some of the interaction analytics platforms out there where you can mine all of your various different contact information and take a look at customer sentiment associated to channel and reason for contact. You can start taking a look at what your customer experience detractors are, what's causing friction within your customer experience, and start addressing those. So utilizing the data within your contact center to address those friction points is ultimately going to lead to a better customer experience. And I think that this is so critical, especially now when we're in this subscription type of economy where customers are subscribing more than they're owning. And so it's easy to cancel a subscription and move to a different company. And so personalization and stickiness, I think, are more critical than ever in this economy. Taking a look at what outcomes your customers want to achieve and focus on helping them achieve them is absolutely critical.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And I know that in the past, you've also told me that the world is very subscription based, and that's how personalization makes it very vital. And we see that in a lot of major companies like Netflix, that's very subscription based, and also things like Spotify, we have Amazon, they're all subscription based. And how do you think all of this will really advance and change in the future?
Yeah, so with subscription based, I think personalization and the analytics behind it are absolutely critical. Some call it the subscription economy right now. Some call it the experience economy. And it's really interesting because the two go hand in hand. You've got to ensure that you're enhancing the experiences of all involved in those interactions and in those transactions. So from an experience perspective, utilizing data to understand the employee experience and what that employee experience looks like. There's some data out there that shows that an engaged an employee that has a great employee experience is going to result in a great customer experience or providing that great customer experience. So I think, data can help us enhance the experience, and enhancing the customer experience is going to enhance the stickiness, enhance and elongate the total lifetime value for those customers overall. And as you think about building that stickiness, building that relationship with your customers, the more that you know, the more that you're able to personalize that experience, the more likely that customer is going to be able to, or is going to do business with you. So we are so data rich at times, but information poor. It's how do you leverage all of these data points to gain actionable insights to ensure that you are elongating those subscriptions and ensuring that those subscriptions are renewing, taking a look at usage data. I mean, Netflix is a great one. It seems like they know you. You watch a movie and then you get suggestions for many other shows that you may like based on your profile, and then a percentage of how likely that is that you'll like them. And so as you think about all of the various different ways that you can leverage that to build that relationship with the customer, I just think that the sky's the limit with data and how you apply that to build that stickiness, to increase and enhance the customer experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important to really keep this customer relationship going as well. It's important to just optimize it as much as possible. And just like you had mentioned, like an example for Netflix, being able to build suggestions and just keep the customer going with your company, definitely.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say thank you so much for joining us today, Joanna. It was such a pleasure to have you on the show and learn more about the customer experience and how to really improve it overall in a company business. We at the Data Standard, we're trying to build a community of data enthusiasts and data thought leaders so that everybody has a place where they can network and collaborate with each other. So what is something we can do for you?
Yeah, so I love this idea of this networking and collaboration community. And really, as a community, what I am here to do is learn about how we can leverage data even that much more. Thinking about my background in customer experience, I'm not a data scientist. I'm not deep into the weeds when it comes to data. And I'm so excited to learn more about how we can apply this and how we can partner together to really drive that customer experience even further and innovate together. So I am looking forward to learning more from the community and just networking and connecting with all of your listeners. I think that this is a great platform.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a great way to meet other people in our community also, definitely.
Yeah.
And where can everybody find you online to connect with you?
So I am on LinkedIn, Joanna Palmer. I'm on Twitter at Joanna Palmer1. And then I also have a podcast as well, The Heart of CX with Max Ball. So on YouTube, The Heart of CX channel, you can find that podcast. So this was a lot of fun, Kat. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was such a pleasure to have you, and it was so great to hear more about your background and everything. And to our audience, for more information on the Data Standard, you can find us at www.datastandard.io, as well as on our LinkedIn and YouTube channel. And this episode is sponsored by Pandio. They're innovating the tech space with their Apache Pulsar messaging system. So you can learn more about their work at pandio.com. And thank you so much, Joanna, for joining us. Such a pleasure to have you, and we definitely hope to have you again soon.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for everybody for tuning in and looking forward to connecting with you.